everybody happy love month. Holy moly. We made it to February. Yikes. Okay. So my future's bright, which is where I wear my sunglasses inside, but I can't do the whole video like that because that would make me crazy. Okay. So our strategy video this month. I'm not sure it's a strategy. Well, maybe as much as a reminder. So I have said this before, is that we don't have lunch bunches for kids that are neurodivergent to teach them neurotypical social skills so they don't look weird or quirky or different or strange, because those are the words I hear all the time when someone wants to describe a neurodivergent kid, but they have not yet told me their diagnosis. So I am in a middle school, high school, and I run lunch bunch groups. And it's not even during lunch, it's during something called crew. And I have a middle school and high school, two different ones, social skills group, and a middle school, high school anxiety group. So everybody that is in all of those groups are neurodivergent. So I'm very particular about who I picked, very particular about what I was going to teach, what we were going to talk about, because I am not going to fall into the, hey, let's get in this group and let's talk about how we won't look weird, strange, quirky, or different. I'm noticing that all growing up, I didn't want to be weird. I didn't want to be, I did want to be different, but in like a dressing sort of way. I didn't want to be weird, like bad weird, but I want to be, someone called me a good nerd the other day, and I was like, why, thank you. I don't know what that means, but I like it's a good nerd, right? Be nerd for good. So now as an adult, I was like, oh, I like the weird, I like the quirky, I like the different, I like that I'm all three of those things. I like that I lead my life that way. I love that I bust out into the world like that. And neurodivergent kids, for the most part, do too. They love their special interests. They love the way they dress. They love who they are. They love that they stim. I love when they unmask. And then I am in charge of these groups. And I want them to feel even more so that way and less so like they aren't doing the right thing to fit in. And as I was having these groups, and I am noticing that my middle school neurodivergent group, my middle school social skills group, they're all neurodivergent kids. They don't need any help with social skills. Who needs help with the social skills? You know who needs help with them? The neurotypical world. They got it. There's 6 of them. Sometimes more, sometimes less, depending on the week. And they're great. They're all sitting there. There's one. I had one making a paper airplane. He asked for scissors and glue, and I was like, what are you doing over there? He has his laptop out. He's doing a paper airplane. He's talking to the other kid who likes paper airplane. They're trying to fly them. I just remind them not to fly it at anybody's face. We have 2 that are pretty excited about the food, and they're talking about the food. There's 2 more that are talking about one. They're taking turns. So one's info dumping about their special interest of Pokemon, and the other one's info dumping on their new special interest of The Hobbit. And they're taking turns, and they're asking appropriate questions, and they're expanding their knowledge, and they're waiting their turn to talk. And you can see it's hard because the Pokemon wants to just talk about Pokemon, and right, and Hobbit just wants to talk about Hobbit, but they're figuring it out. And I thought, and then they talked about, all of them said, hey, then they got on the slime conversation, and next time we're making slime. We're making slime in the group. They were like, can you get stuff for slime? We want to make clear slime. And then someone's like, actually, could you get colors and some glitter and some stuff to put in? Just because not everybody wants the clear slime. And I was like, yes. So they have figured it out. So I'm just wondering if we don't need to have these social skills group or lunch bunch groups to make kids different. It is so they can find the people that get them, They can find the people whose brains work sort of similar. They can find an info dumping partner or someone that is interested in what they're interested in, right? They're also, we're talking about SpongeBob too, and they just totally got it. And I thought, I wonder how many groups these kids have been in where it's like, this is what you're supposed to do, and a back and forth conversation, and in their brains they're thinking, I don't get it. Why would we do that? That doesn't feel normal to me. And I would never, oh my gosh, never have a lunch bunch where I'm promoting masking. And I think that's what a lot of lunch bunches do. So let's be careful about, or be careful, maybe more intentional about what kids we're bringing together, what sort of things we are providing for information, what sort of things we can talk about, and how do we teach the neurotypical kids that, like, these kids have got it figured out, just like neurotypical kids think they got it figured out. Both sides think they have it figured out. To come together, they just don't have the information. It's called the double empathy problem, right? Like, we need to teach both sides how the other one's brain operates. So instead of being like, what? And judging, we're like, oh, I just didn't understand that. I didn't understand that's why so-and-so did that or so-and-so did this, right? Neurotypical or neurodivergent. And now that I understand it, I can accept them for who they are. I don't need to reject them. I don't need to roll my eyes. I don't need to be like, oh my gosh, you're weird. We don't need to start a bullying situation. So if you have neurotypical kids and neurodivergent kids together, let's make sure we're teaching the empathy on both sides, what each brain is doing, how it's working, what sort of things we might see. Because I think it's really important for self-esteem. And self-esteem, remember, is the fourth authentic need that has to be in your human body, in your human mind, in your human soul, before you could get to these growth needs of like, I'm also good at these things. You have to, I'm good at these things. I want to know more about that. Right knowledge and understanding. But I have to feel good about myself first. And I am seeing a lot of neurodivergent kids not feeling good about themselves. So the adults are then putting them in these groups to try to help them with that, and it's worse. So let's make sure that we are being intentional. We have a lot of information around neurodiversity, what that means, right? If you want more, there's something that I started called SPOIL, SPOIL, which which is very helpful, right? We're going to slow it down. We're going to prioritize. We're going to talk about overwhelm. We're going to look at interests and get new information. And we're going to ask people in the community for lived experiences. Those are things that we have to be teaching all kids all the time. And we skip over that part. So then there's a lot of manipulation into getting these kids to act normal. There's a lot of judgment instead of understanding, and there's a lot of rejecting instead of accepting, right? Those are the three principles of relationships. And we have to change that so kids stop masking, so kids are like, oh, my brain just works different. It's okay. No brain is the same. We're going to do something different. I'm going to do something different. Kids are going to understand me, and I'm going to feel good about myself. That is our ultimate goal. All right, if you have questions, you know where to find me, guys, right? You can find me on Instagram. You can find me on Facebook. It's Meg Thompson, 2 Gs. And I love you. Happy February. And a shout out and a yay to Mattel's Autistic Barbie. Love it.